when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, you are at a disadvantage when facing him. What do I mean by that? Besides the obvious statement that most people are looking into. Even if I built an all-time great defense with the likes of Lawrence Taylor, J.J. Watt, Ronnie Lott, Deion Sanders, if I have Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback, I'm walking into that game thinking the playing field is at least even. Yes, I said it. You want to know why? Because when you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, there's no such thing as a disadvantage. No such thing. Because the NFL has never seen a player like Patrick Mahomes. They've never seen a quarterback like him. He's arguably in the conversation for most talented thrower of the football we've ever seen. And when you've never seen a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, it's super hard to game plan for the guy. And not to mention, you are never out of the game when Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback. Because we saw in the playoffs versus an elite Buffalo Bills defense with 13 seconds left to go in the game, when the Buffalo Bills went up and there were only 13 seconds left on the clock, you know what I saw in Patrick Mahomes' eyes? I saw determination. And it led to Patrick Mahomes with only 13 seconds left on the clock, finding a way to get the Chiefs in field goal range, and they went on to win that game in overtime, an all-time classic game that everyone saw and everyone's jaws dropped when they saw the outcome of that game. He brought them back. We even saw Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl that he lost versus Tom Brady and a great Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Look, I said in the past that I think Patrick Mahomes choked in that game because the fact that the Chiefs did not score a touchdown, it was really embarrassing. And I felt that Patrick Mahomes, you need to hold him to that high standard. And listen, anytime you don't score a touchdown in a game with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, you really got to do some deep diving. But I will say, even in a Super Bowl versus a Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, it took an all-time great performance for Patrick Mahomes to be defeated. And Patrick Mahomes, the Buccaneers got after him, but he kept getting up, and he was giving his wide receivers a chance to make plays, so it's one of those things where unfortunately he lost that game, but even in a loss, you could not take your eyes off of Patrick Mahomes because you were waiting for him to potentially do something special, and maybe if, he got a little bit more help from his coaching staff and his teammates, the outcome of that game could have been a little bit different, but that's neither here nor there. There's no such thing as a disadvantage when you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. From a coaching perspective, from guys that play with him, I think that's a very much fair statement to say Patrick Mahomes, all-time great quarterback. There's no such thing as a disadvantage when playing with Patrick Mahomes by your side.